Good day. For this video, I will going to tackle about my advocacy, which is the anti-discrimination. But first, let me ask you a question. Have you been in a situation when you consider someone bad because he is black? Or a situation when you try to avoid a Muslim you just saw? Or spoke fun at a lesbian wearing gown on her prom? If yes, then sadly, you are discriminating. But what does it mean when you say discriminating? Let me define it for you. Discrimination is a prejudiced treatment or making a distinction towards a person based on a group to which the person is perceived to belong. In simple words, discrimination is treating someone unfairly because of who they are or because they possess certain characteristics. Let's say, when you treat your classmate different from your other classmate because you have this certain characteristic, for example, being a Muslim, then she is being discriminated by you. Discrimination has become one of the biggest problem most of us cannot solve, and is occurring not only in our country, but almost in all countries all over the world. When I am asked what my advocacy is, fighting against discrimination is the first to come to my mind. Discrimination is like a disease that still doesn't have a cure, a virus that spreads and unstoppable. You will know why after I stated the brutality and depressing doings caused by the discrimination, just like a virus in a disease. Having a different religion, gender, or any characteristic cannot make you any less of a person. Always remember that your characteristic doesn't define you as a person, it doesn't define you. But sadly, whether we like it or not, there will be people who discriminates. Some are being treated less favorably than the others because of a personal attribute rather than their ability to do their job. Some discrimination that occur in the workplace can include job refusal, denial of promotions, isolations by coworkers, and not being paid the same as someone with the same qualifications and the same experience as you. Discrimination may be intentional or non-intentional, direct or indirect. Bullying and harassment are considered discriminatory behavior. There are situations wherein harassment is occurring due to the discrimination. Let me quote this statement. There is neither Jew nor Greek, there is neither slave nor free man, there is neither male nor female, for you are all one in Christ Jesus. In the world we live in, we humans are separated by the thin line of differences. Different colors, different religions, different personalities, and different cultures. Because of these differences, our society have separated us through diversion, dividing and separating those who are different and those who are alike. For example, the Native Americans are being called the black, and it's not just because of their color. The blacks are being discriminated for years and being blamed for a lot of crimes happening in America. They are being discriminated and treated unfairly. This discrimination can damage the affected person's well-being, work performance, and job security. Not being aware that we have been making distinction on the people according to the differences that we have. But why? Yes, he is black, she is white. So what? Why should our colors decide how we should treat other people? Why are we living to the labels the society have put upon us? Should colors dictate how we treat other people? Labels are not you. Labels are not me. Labels are just labels. Who we are is not defined by the labels. How we treat other people should not be based on our color or any labels the society have put upon you. Our skin is just our skin, our religion is just our religion, and our gender is just our gender. Who we truly are found inside. You may not notice, but sometimes you discriminate without noticing it. We may even treat unfairly and not be aware of it. I have this friend who speaks different from the rest. Because of this characteristic of him, he has been experiencing the cruelty and the unfair treatment of society. He was being mistreated by people around him. Every day he go to school, he was being mocked, bullied, and teased by his own classmates and even by his so-called friends. He may look happy in the outside, but deep down he is suffering from a mental health conditions that make him try to take away his own life. You see, when we discriminate, it can cause a large impact to oneself that can lead to suicide or any type of self-harm. Discrimination is not a simple problem we can just ignore. Ignoring discrimination is the same as ignoring millions of people being mistreated. Victims can have a different interpretations and can cause different impacts. Sadly, discrimination of our human fellow being is becoming worse day after day, year after year. No one is born hating another person because of the color of his skin, or his religion, or his background. People must learn to hate, and if they can learn to hate, they can taught to be love. For love comes more naturally to the human heart than its opposite, as they say. Early this year, there are reported news that China is having concentration camps built in their country. First accusations about China having these concentration camps started to emerge last year based on a BBC article. It is reported that these concentration camps hold thousands of Muslims that is being tortured because they believe in Islam. And those of whom Chinese aren't their mother tongue are being forced to learn it. Muslims experience different kinds of tortures and leads to death of some of them. The victims that have been able to get out of these camps said that the dead bodies are being cremated so there will be no evidence on how many have died. You are probably wondering why this such kind of news aren't headlines of the news broadcast in our world. For the reason that the China have been dominating their media and they have been successfully hidden from the rest of the world. Several questions will probably come to your mind. Why China is doing this? For what reason? Well, simple. It's because of discrimination. But do the Muslim deserve that? Is being a Muslim a crime? So what if they believe in religion? Having faith in religion doesn't make you commit a sin. We keep on looking down on people that have personalities and characteristics that we do think make them less than us. These concentration camps do not only discriminate the Muslims, but also deprive their rights as a human being. Why do we intrude other people's belief? Not just in religion, physical appearance, a lot of people were also discriminated because of their culture. A lot of indigenous peoples have been mistreated because of their culture. We treat them unfairly just because of their dark skin, large curls hair, and even the way they speak. Our society is taking away the right that they deserve. The discrimination that created this diversion to each of us just creates conflict. Just because she is a Muslim, she is a bad person. Just because she is blind, she can't work properly. Do not let the world dictate what you can do. Do not let them treat you less than you deserve. Let us stop building the wall that creates diversion and distinguish us from one another. We are all born equal. Who you are or whatever characteristic you possess does not make you above or below other people. Don't treat unfairly. Don't deprive their rights from them because of these labels. We all have the right to be treated equally, regardless of our race, ethnicity, nationality, class, religion, belief, sex, language, and other status. We can lessen discrimination by starting the changes on ourselves. Let's see the beauty in each other and go for equality. Let us use our voice to spread awareness so we can lessen or better yet, stop the discrimination and human rights violation. Never be afraid to raise your voice if something is not right and if something is need to be fixed. Because if you let those things happen, it means you are agreeing or you're okay with the things that aren't right. Start standing and speak to what is wrong. Don't let your fear control you. It's the time to act. It is the time to stop the diversion. We have our differences and there is nothing wrong about that. Everyone has the right to live in an environment free from fear. Everyone has the right to live in an environment free from discrimination. Everyone has the right to be treated and feel belong to the community, for we are all one in Christ